Hello everyone, Pallytime here. Welcome back to Free Time. We are playing Diablo 3, but we are on a brand new character. Season 3 has started, so our monk, we're going to bid farewell to him. If you guys are interested, I can show you basically where he ended at. But because of a series of unfortunate events, I was not able to progress anymore on the monk. I think we ended with our record around Greater Rift 35 or so. Maybe it was 37. I don't remember. But it wasn't bad. We did pretty well for the season, considering we were playing it pretty casually. Season 3 just started. I believe this is day 3. Day 3, and I hit level 70 about 4 hours ago. Girlfriend Time and I were leveling up together, and it was pretty fun. We took our time. It wasn't that bad. You may notice that this thing on my back, it's real big and it's real good. It's a furnace. Seriously, my second legendary after I hit level 70 was one of the most rare weapons in the entire game, and I got it in a level 1 Greater Rift. Like, what kind of luck is this? It's kind of amazing. So, I'm going to be using this for quite some time, I would imagine. Furnace is an item I was trying to get for the entirety of Season 2 on my monk. Either that or a torch. I would have been happy with either. Did not get either. But the furnace increases damage against elites by up to 50%. We got a mediocre roll at 44. And we did have attack speed on this bad boy, but I went ahead and I re-rolled that to damage. And the damage can go up to 10%. So once we have a little bit more money in the bank, we can start to work on that a little bit more. It is my plan to be a melee wizard, or at least this close in melee range to being a melee wizard. It doesn't really interest me too much to sit at range. I want to get in and get dirty. I want to kill some motherfuckers, like all up in their face. So, to help us do that, I'm going to walk you through the build that I'm using as of right now. This is subject to change, of course. This is just something I've kind of thrown together, and I think I like it. So our left click is going to be electrocute with the arc lightning, which is going to cause basically our primary auto attack to be a cone. Our right click is going to be blizzard with the frozen solid rune, so anything in this blizzard will be stunned basically for like a second, or has a chance to be. And you can spam that pretty quick as long as you stay in combat. I mean, as long as your resource isn't too bad. So we essentially can keep most bosses from attacking us too much, which is really, really strong. To boost our damage, we are using the magic weapon with the force weapon rune. It's a flat 20% damage increase. You can see my damage is still pretty low, only at 357k, but we can go ahead and pop that and we go up to 430k. So a nice boost, My number 3 ability is this Frost Shield, the Ice Armor with Crystallize. When you're struck by a melee attack, your armor increases by 20% for 30 seconds. This stacks up to 3 times, so obviously just a survivability increase there. We can move out of most elemental effects, but if stuff's hitting me in melee range, that's when we have to start mitigating some of that damage. And from what I've seen so far, again, we are super duper noob on the wizard. I haven't played a wizard really since the release of Diablo 3. So this is just what I'm trying out. But so far, this seems pretty good. We are using the Hydra with Mammoth. Basically, it summons a Hydra out of the ground, and then when he attacks stuff, he'll be leaving down these trails of fire that actually do a substantial amount of damage. If we're ever overwhelmed, we can just summon this guy and kind of run away, and he can do some serious damage. And then Teleport with Calamity. You cast a short-range wave of force upon arrival, dealing 175 weapon damage as arcane to all nearby enemies and stunning them for 1 second. So not only is it mobility, but it's also a somewhat form of crowd control. We are going with Unstable Anomaly for our passive. If we die, we basically don't die and push everything back instead, and this is going to have a 60-second cooldown. We are also going with the Arcane Dynamo. What this does is when you cast a signature spell, you gain a flash of insight after 5 flashes. Your next non-signature spell deals 60% additional damage. So essentially the combo I've been doing You attack 5 times. You look at your buff down here. It's called Flashes of Insight. Once you have 5, you cast this guy, or you cast a Blizzard. And essentially, you're constantly building up those 5 stacks and then dealing the subsequent damage to follow. Or at least, again, that's my plan. I'm not giving any advice here. I'm just walking you all through my decisions, just to be clear. Audacity is the other passive I picked up because we're always going to be pretty close in melee range. We want to deal an additional 15% damage to enemies within 15 yards. So really nice just damage increase. You could go for Glass Cannon, but obviously you're going to be taking more damage with that. So Audacity is where it's at for me. And then one of the most interesting talents, or one of the most interesting passives that we have here, Elemental Exposure, words and things. Damaging enemies with Arcane, Cold Fire, or Lightning will cause them to take 5% more damage from all sources for 5 seconds. Each different damage type applies a stack, stacking up to 4 times. So the more we're varying up the amount of damage types we're dealing to a particular enemy, the more damage they're going to be taking up to a point. So notice this is Fire, this is Ice, this is Lightning, and then Arcane. So the idea is we want to be stacking our damage types to really boost our damage output on a target. And I like it. I like it a lot. The set I am going for is the Tal Rasha's set. I only have one piece. I've gotten the chest piece so far, which I'm pretty grateful for. But set bonuses are, with the 2 set, damaging enemies with Arcane, Cold Fire, or Lightning will cause a meteor of the same damage type to fall from the sky. There is an 8-second cooldown for each damage type. So if I hit someone with a Blizzard, if I hit someone with cold damage, a meteor falls. If I hit someone with arcane damage, another meteor falls. Fire and lightning are the same thing, with an 8-second cooldown amongst them. So it sounds incredible, and I cannot wait to get this set up and running and try it out. It is a 6-piece set. We are going to be filling out the 6-piece, or at least that's the plan. But for right now, we have a really long way to go with that. One of the items I'm using really early on, this is actually under-leveled. You can see at the bottom right there, required level for this particular item is level 59. But it is the Broken Crown. And what this does is it increases your drop rates for a particular gem that you have socketed. So because I have a orange or yellow gem or whatever these things are, I'm going to be getting more of those drops when another gem drops. So essentially, it's a way of increasing your farming speed. And considering I'm going to need a lot of these, I was more than happy to use an underleveled one at the beginning. Well, we're just now gearing up, and hopefully we can get all the gems we need really early on in the game, rather than waiting throughout the entire season to go about getting this. Let's go ahead and jump into a... This is a level 4 Greater Rift. This is what you should do when you first start out, when you first hit the level cap in a season. What you need to do is, well, I was playing with Girlfriend Time. She's playing a Barbarian. She's going for like the super strong Whirlwind builds right now. So we upped the difficulty to Torment 1 immediately after we hit level 70, and like it took us like 20 minutes to get through a Rift. But we got a Greater Rift Keystone on our first try. And then what we did was you go into the trial and then you instantly leave and you get a level 1. And then once you have the level 1, you put it in this thing and you start clearing. But you do not kill the boss until there's 4 minutes and 30 seconds remaining. And why do you do that? Well, I'll be more than happy to show you as we progress through this place. And as you can see, our damage is more than adequate here. A lot of that has to do with the furnace that we picked up. I still cannot believe the luck with that. A lot of people are saying that the furnace is not the best in slot weapon for Wizard. In fact, they are saying that you want to have the Tal Rasha's offset, the source, equipped. I'm planning on using this thing for quite some time. It is one of the rarest weapons in the game, and I don't want to look... What is it, a gift horse in the mouth? Isn't that the saying? But I'm going to progress through this place. As you can see, no challenge whatsoever. We're just stacking up our buff until we get 5 stacks, and then dropping down the Hydra to deal that increased damage. And this is all Hydra damage right here. It's pretty substantial. He's critting for 2 million in my shitty gear right now. So definitely good. But I'm going to progress through this, and I'll show you what to do with your Greater Rift Keystones once you start gearing up a character. Really important. Right, as you can see, we're coming up to the end of the rift right about now. We blew that guy up almost instantaneously. Just a few more guys we need to kill before this timer is all the way to the right. And as you can see, we have 11 minutes and 21 seconds left in this place before it closes. Now, what we want to do now is simply leave. We note the time and we leave. If I were to kill that guy right now, we had a level 4 keystone. If I was to kill that guy right now, it would significantly rank up this keystone, and I don't want that. What I'm doing is I'm trying to farm for my greater gems. If I go back to town, I can show you that I have a really, really small amount of gems right now. I believe I have maybe 3 that aren't equipped, so let's go to tab 1. That's where I always keep them. So I have these 3 right here. 4, excuse me. I have a Teguk, which I do not plan on using. The Molten Wild Beasts Gizzard, which I don't plan on using. And a Bane of the Trapped, which I'm going to give a try. Hopefully we can make that work really, really well. I don't see any reason we can't. And then an Invigorating Gemstone, which I don't plan on using either. So, essentially, I know I don't want all of these gems, and I'm still looking for the ones that I do. So the best way to get legendaries when you're undergeared, and the best way to get these gems as fast as possible, is to simply open up a greater rift, look at your timer, and kill the boss once there is less than 4 minutes and 30 seconds remaining. At that time, you are guaranteed, well, whenever you kill a boss, I suppose, you are guaranteed to get a greater gem, get those legendary gems until you have all of them. And once you have all of them, you know, you can start ramping up the difficulty if you wanted to. But the fact that when I started doing this, Torment 1 was really, really hard to clear by myself. So I want to hang on to this greater keystone as long as I can. And the way we do that is simply waiting until there's 4 minutes and 30 seconds left in the rift, then killing the boss, and then upgrading the keystone. With that much time remaining, the keystone can only go up 1 level. So this is a difficulty 4. It's going to go up to difficulty 5. And we just continue doing that until we either have all of our gems or simply cannot progress anymore. So let's cut to the end and I'll show you that process as well. Look at me being thorough. Alright, I'm back. There's 3 minutes and 40 seconds left. I went and fed my dogs, got a drink, talked to the family, you know, social things. If you're not into that, watch some Netflix, man. Watch one of my videos, why don't you? Whatever you need to do to pass the time. Come in here, we're going to kill this guy super duper quick. You can see he's taking a ton of damage from the 5-stack Blizzards and the 5-stack Hydra right behind him. Gonna die no problem. And we got some gloves. I don't recognize the set. I don't know a lot of the mage sets, or the wizard sets. Archon can gain the effect of every rune. Interesting. Interesting. Well, regardless, these are a significant increase over the ones we have right now. 29.2 damage increase. We'll definitely be equipping those. And you can see right here we have a legendary gem. This one is, I believe, the poison one. And the idea is you would do this until you could reliably farm T6. And once you can start farming T6, then you're going to be getting a ton more blood shards. Use the blood shards to gamble. And then basically it's easily the fastest way of gearing up your character. Although there is usually a little bit of downtime in this lower level stuff. So I hope you guys enjoyed today's video. I'm going to keep working on this guy. Let's go ahead. Oh, this is new. Whenever you do a new personal best for solo greater rifts, you do get an increase to your blood shard count. So that was my new personal best. Now I can hold 540 blood shards. Isn't that just fancy? We're going to roll pants. We did not get the pants we want. Not a big deal. And then I'm just going to pop back in our number 5 greater keystone and watch some Heroes of the Dorm. And that's going to be the rest of my night, man. I'm pretty content with that. Pretty content with that. Hope you guys enjoyed today's video. And I will see you all again whenever we make a little bit of progress on this guy. I am still planning on playing Diablo in my free time. I just don't know how much free time I'm really going to have in the upcoming weeks. Anyway, I'm gonna leave now. Bye, friends. Don't explode on me. Oh.